Hello, my name is Marco Harper. My candidate number is 0281 and my center number is 11298. The name of my project is Password Manager. Let's go straight into it. Here I'll run my code. Okay, so first off you have here the login page as well as a submit button for the login details, a sign up, and an exit button. First let's test the exit button. The window should be destroyed. Yep. Let's try again. Let's rerun it. Here, first let's sign up. Let's enter some details. I will purposely have the email address invalid, so that should create an error. Okay, there's no @ here, so it should produce an error saying the email is invalid. Email is not valid. Try again. Okay. So now I'll put a valid email address, and I'll use invalid password details. So let's do that. Let's do it so it's 2 little characters. Password needs to be at least 7 characters long. Okay. Now let's do it so they don't match. Your passwords need to match in the password and confirm password entry boxes. Okay. Now I'll do matching passwords which are correct. However, I will do a phone number which is a string which is not valid. Please enter a valid phone number. Okay. So if I press submit, this should be all valid details, so it should go through. Your account has been successfully created. Okay, the window is also destroyed. Now let's log in. First, let's see what happens when I try to press enter when there are no details. You have not entered an email address. Okay. Now let's try that. You have not entered a password. Okay. Now let's enter our password. There we go. Now we have a two-factor authentication. I will now see what happens when I don't press anything. Invalid code, I need to enter again. Now let's do an invalid random code. Same thing again. Now let's try one more time. And now I will show you on my phone the text message of the correct SMS code, which I should enter, which should allow me to enter the program. As you can see, the most recent code is 542389. I will now enter that code. Verify. Now my tree view should appear. Here we go. Now let's check the database first. Okay. So the login information, which is where we signed up and logged in, now I should appear. There we go. Marco Harper, my email address. Let's make this bigger. My password, which is encrypted. That is why it's not. It seems bigger than it actually is. And also my user ID. Okay. Now any data which I should add should appear to customers data. There we go. Here, any data which I should add to this should appear in here. Okay. Now let's look at the tree view. Okay. Now let's add a couple rows. For example, let's do website bbc.co.uk and let's type the password. Let's do password Marco question notes phone number. Let's just leave that empty. Okay. Now let's press add. As you can see, it appears here. Now if I look at my database as well, it should now appear as well. There we go. Password is obviously encrypted as well with an encrypt key specific to the password. Use ID is one, which is use ID of the login information. And our website, obviously, and notes. And phone number, I did not enter anything, so that's 0. Okay. So now let's update. I will now change my username, for example. Let's do Marco777. Notes, I'll say news station. And I'll change my password to say password123. I will now press update. There we go. As you can see, it is now changed. The blob is just, the encryption is too long to be shown, but it's still valid. Marker77 changed. Also, extra notes changed. As seen, an encrypt key also changed. Now, I will clear my entry boxes. I will now add a new record. Let's say, for example, Bolingbroke, which is my school. Let's do password again. I see something different. Password 55. Marco. Extra notes school, for example. Add another record as shown. Now, I will test the random password generator. So let's see what happens when we don't enter anything and press generate. You must enter an integer. Okay. Let's enter a string, for example. Let's say 2. You must enter that integer. Okay. Let's do 8. There we go. Now I'll press copy to clipboard. This will copy this password right here. A randomly generated password, which should be secure. Sorry. So now we can go here, update, remove that, the password. Now, as I copy to clipboard, I should copy in, update. There we go. Database will change as well, obviously. There we go. I will now test to see if the scroll bar works once there are too many rows. So let's just add some empty rows, for example. Add record, add record, add record, until it's just too much. As you can see, it carries on going. And now I've got a scroll bar, which I can use to go up and down. And let's say, as you can see, there are lots of different rows. So it might be hard to navigate, but let's add a couple more. Obviously, it's getting a bit long now. So if you want to see something quickly, for example, let's change a random row here to a website, for example, Deliveroo. Update. As you can see, that's now Deliveroo. And this is why I implemented the search feature. So if I press search, and I type Deliveroo, there we go. Only Deliveroo will be shown, which is very helpful if you want to find something very quickly. And obviously everything will come back if I press reset. There we go. Now everything's back to normal. I will also test some functionality if, let's say, I don't select a row to update. Right now, as you see, nothing is selected. So let's press update. You're not selected a row. Remove one selected, not selected a row. Remove many, not select any rows to delete. Okay, now we will test the export data feature. Okay. There we go. Let's do to my desktop. And let's type test 1, 2, 3. But let's cancel it to make sure what will happen if it is not successful going through. Export cancelled by user. Okay. Export data. Let's try again. Test 1, 2, 3. Store as a JSON file. Data exported successfully. Now I will look in my file explorer. Test 1, 2, 3 JSON. Let's open it. Notepad. As you can see, the data here is stored, which is exported in a JSON file, which you can access. now show an extra feature, which is not very important, but it's also a cool feature. Oak, this will change the colors of the odd rows, and this will change the color of even rows, as you can see, for preference wise. And before I use the remove, here I will show, for example. So let's delete this selected row. Record has been deleted, obviously, as shown. Deleted. Okay. In the database, there should only be 21. Let's check. As you can see, it only goes up to 21 now. And here are all the empty rows I created. Okay. Now I'll also test out the many selected row. This will delete all the rows. Yes. As shown. Just like that. Okay. Now I will use the remove all records, which should delete all the rows in the tree view and in the database as well. Let's try that. As you can see, there's nothing left. So all the data has been deleted. Thank you very much for listening. That was my walkthrough for my password manager. Again, Marco Harper, candidate number 0281, center number 11298. Thank you very much.